Good evening and welcome. My name is Brent Weaver. I'm the current board president for Ethiopia Reads. I want to first thank all of you for doing such a great fundraiser for tonight. Andrew DeRosa, he was able to reach out to me over at Ethiopia Reads in order to put together a video to tell you a little bit about our organization. Andrew said that you guys are part of the Future Business Leaders of America Club. I want to congratulate you guys for making the extra effort. I personally own a business, and I know that both being involved in the community and giving back are two cornerstones that will be very important in your careers to come. So I want to talk about you guys are raising money for our cause, Ethiopia Reads. Our mission is to bring the magic of literacy and books to a very impoverished country of Ethiopia. And I bet most of us grew up, at least I know I did, with abundance of books. Having pretty much as many children's books as you would want as a kid. Most developed countries, parents don't discourage their kids from reading. If you come home and instead of asking for a PlayStation 3 or the new Xbox game or whatever, you asked your parents for a book, chances are they're going to probably open their wallet and figure out a way to get you the book you need. That's not the case in Ethiopia. A lot of the schools don't have enough textbooks for the students. Many of the schools are well overcrowded and don't even have enough resources for the students. When I say resources, I mean like a pencil and a piece of paper. And it's a pretty intense situation for a lot of people in Ethiopia. I want to tell you specifically about a school that I've had a couple chances to visit. It's the Yirriguelem School. It's in a town called Awassa, which is a few hours south of the capital, Addis Ababa. The Yirriguelem School, 3 years ago, it was a pretty poor performing school. About 4,500 kids go to the school, and they only have enough buildings actually for half of the students to go to school at one time. So there's a morning cycle and there's an afternoon cycle. I think it's like K through 4 and then 4 through 8, essentially. So each one of those, about 2,250 students go per session. So in this school in particular, it's in a regional district, a very large district of about 4,900 schools. And 3 years ago, it probably ranked towards the bottom, 8th of that list of schools. Not a performer at all, completely underfunded. And when I say underfunded, I mean, we're talking about, they have brick walls and concrete floor and an opening for a doorway, and that's pretty much it. None of the kids have books. They were all learning from the chalkboard. So imagine going to school, sitting 3 to 4 per desk, and not actually having a book, only learning from what you could copy down on your only notebook you probably have for your several subjects per day, with the only pencil you'll probably have for that year. So a lot of these kids are growing up and they have no access to books. They can't go to a library and check one out. They can't go to a library at school. They don't have their own textbook. So imagine learning in that environment. Well, a group that's similar to Future Business Leaders of America, hopefully it's okay to mention them. It's the organization DECA. Actually, Colorado DECA is really active with Ethiopia Reads and a couple of Ethiopia-based organizations, and they've done some great jobs fundraising. And I think their story could hopefully inspire you guys to do some great fundraising work for these causes as well. They were able to raise some money, and they were able to figure out a way to plan a library. And I want to show you a quick video that I made about their project and the library they opened. And so I hope you enjoy this quick little video. How you feeling?
Feeling good.
Yeah.
Feeling real good.
how you got here today.
Basically, last year, my senior year of high school, through an organization called DECA, which is an association of marketing students, I and the rest of the officers on my team put together a benefit concert, which all the proceeds went to benefit Project Mercy and also Ethiopia Reads, and we were able to raise up to about $20,000 for the charity.
The kids each year, as I said, we've been involved for 5 years. The first year they raised $5,000. The second year that was another, I think it was $8,000. And then the third year they raised $10,000. And then this last year they were like, we can raise more than $10,000, we can raise $20,000. So I said, let me call Noel and see what we can do. And I know that he had talked to me before about doing a library. So I called him and they said, do you trust us? I'm like, of course. And so he said, we need $10,000 for a library. And so we said, okay. Done. We can get that done. So that's the year that we raised the $20,000.
Just kind of walked up and saw it, and it was everything I thought it would be and more. And I kind of just lost it. I was just, like I said, I was exhausted and not feeling well, and just my emotions were just all over the place. And you know, seeing Kelly, who was my advisor, she just started tearing up, and I started tearing up, and you know, it's not often that I get emotional like that, but just the reality of seeing a tangible result from all the hard work, and it made me think about the times when I considered giving up, or when there was problems and I was just so frustrated, and how I was so glad that I ended up following through with the project.
The principal was overwhelming. It is one of those, again, I can just feel him right here in my heart, because his face just lit up the entire room, and he was just like, thank you so much, thank you so much. And he showed us every aspect of it, the new library, the new shelves, the new desks, the new chairs, and they had this beautiful coffee ceremony for us that was told to us that those ceremonies only happen at a holiday. So you could tell that there was so much pride for his students, and just as I feel pride for my students, he felt that now his kids could succeed some more, and that his kids were going to be able to make it to that next level of education. And that was what was so cool, is again, it was truly nothing about him. It was about the school and the children, and that's what you just saw him be so happy about. Kissing the wind through my window screen. The restless call says that I can't hide. So much on my mind that it spills outside. Do you want to go stroll down the financial street? Our clothes might get soaked, but the buildings sleep. And there's no one pushing for a place that's meander at an easy pace. And I want to walk around with you. And I want to walk around with you. 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 Just you, 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 just you. You can put your jacket on so we can see your jacket thing? That is awesome. Thank you very much.
So that was huge. I mean, we were able to, go into this community, build a library. That day that Gabe and Kelly went into that library, that was the first opening of the library. I mean, you could see kind of from the shelves and all that kind of stuff that there weren't that many books yet. We were still waiting on a shipment to arrive. Fast forward 3 years, I'm sorry, two and a half, and I was able to visit that school again this past November. So remember, it was the bottom 8th of 4,900 schools, and we go back to this school, and we pull into the schoolyard, and all the kids are just chanting USA, USA, and it was extremely touching. Go into the library. It's of course now totally stocked with books. We had this huge ceremony of welcoming us, which apparently was even a bigger ceremony than they had given local politicians. And the principal informed us that the school had moved to number 2 out of 4,900 schools, and that's absolutely incredible. This school, a couple of years ago, bottom, a couple of years later, number 2. This type of progress is crazy. I mean, to be able to put just a simple thing in the library, give kids access to books, let them learn things that are not necessarily in their subject materials, let them study their subject materials harder. You know, this is creating true progress. And what I want to tell you about tonight is a story about a school in the Mercado district in Addis Ababa. It's a school that we're working with a partner organization of ours called TESPA. The Mercado school, I think we could probably get by with around $3,000 in order to bring in new shelving and pack the shelving with books and probably build in a couple of reading stools. So that library is in the heart of the Market District. They are a kindergarten only, so these kids are at the great age to be you know, influenced by the magic of reading. And a project that we want to bring to them is 4 shelves and stock those shelves with books. And so I think with that, I appreciate everybody's support and want to thank you for attending your Project Hope event tonight, and we appreciate dearly all of the support that you've given Ethiopia Reads. Thank you and have a good night.